Jokes about teenagers and their attachment to phones, tablets, and video games have become a normal part of our society. Adults may think this is humorous, but sadly, teens may be reducing their ability to connect with and understand others, and they may even think less of themselves as a result of too much technology exposure. One recent study found that teens ages 16 to 19 who spent more than 2 hours a day playing video games were significantly less likely to understand someone else's emotions and spot social clues than teens who were less focused on video games. Adults who participated in the study who played more than 2 hours of video games per day did not report difficulty with cognitive empathy or the ability to understand another person's perspective. The results show that video game exposure at a younger age is responsible for this reduction in empathy toward others. The type of media they are exposed to makes a difference. A 2014 study showed that university students who played pro-social video games were more empathetic toward others than students who played antisocial video games. Those who played the pro-social games were 4 times more likely to act positively toward others than the antisocial video game users. However, after playing the antisocial game, students took more reward items than they were told they should take, even when they believed that taking more than their fair share would leave another participant without a reward. Over the course of 30 years, 25,000 college volunteers participated in a survey that measured empathy. Every year, from the time the study began in 1979 until it ended in 2009, college students reported less empathy toward others. Surprisingly, college students surveyed from 2000 to 2009 showed a whopping 40% less empathy than college students of the 1980s and 1990s. Less empathetic behavior has resulted in a generation that is known more for selfishness and narcissism than any generation before it. What could be to blame for this drop in empathy? Researchers believe the increased exposure to technology and social media plays a part. Young people who spend most of their time interacting with peers via their cell phones or social media may struggle to relate to people when they are required to interact face-to-face. Social media platforms make it very easy to scroll past or ignore messages that are uncomfortable or inconvenient. That desire to avoid emotional discomfort could carry over into face-to-face interactions as well. And of course, today's teens and college students have more access to violent video games than previous generations did. There's an ever-growing pile of research that suggests exposure to these types of video games has a numbing effect, making young people less sensitive to the emotions of others. Another factor for the reduction in empathy may be due to a new culture of impatience bred by technology. Society today is obsessed with speed and time. In the world of high-speed browsing, people are less apt to wait for a lagging browser or a slow answer. Time spent with media may not only negatively impact our feelings toward others. In 2011, researchers looked at the connection between high internet use and feelings towards oneself. The university students in the study who reported the highest internet use also reported that they felt isolated, and they were very harsh, critical, and unkind toward themselves. Students who did not use the computer as much reported treating themselves better and had a better understanding that life's ups and downs don't always mean they're a personal failure. All of this research points to various types of technology as potential empathy killers, particularly for teens and young adults. Parents who want to encourage empathy should pay close attention to the types of games their children want to play. In particular, they should check to see if the games invite antisocial behaviors such as violence or stealing. Encouraging kids and teenagers to spend time interacting with others in a face-to-face environment might also help them develop appropriate levels of empathy for both themselves and for others. As always, screen time limits should be set and enforced. Reducing the amount of time teens spend staring at that iPhone may be the best way to ensure they learn to interact with and understand their fellow humans.